Get to talk about what Kevin Durant did last night in Brooklyn. In Game 5, a pivotal game in the series, Kevin Durant played every single second of the game and scored 49 points, had 17 rebounds and 10 assists. A dynamic, historic performance from Durant. What do you have in a reaction to this performance?
And it wasn't because P.J. Tucker had 0 points in the game. Because when he did well against KD, he had 0 points in a previous game, except his plus-minus was 11. And for those intimately involved in the league, we knew that this was going to be an opportunity for the easy money sniper to respond. James Harden was hobbled. Kyrie Irving was out. They were going back home. And that stat line of 49, 17, and 10, that has never happened in the history of the NBA playoffs. Just think about that for a second.
Wow.
And also, his fourth quarter heroics, for everybody that doesn't understand how Chris Middleton, that was good D. All 9 of his shots were contested. Those last couple of threes that he made, that wasn't his normal shooting motion. Those were like heat checks. If I can see the rim, I'm Iceberg Slim shooting trays from the suburbs. This is money. Effortlessly. And it was a phenomenal performance to see. I also want to make sure I give props to James Harden. Who would have thought he would have returned from being out to doubtful to questionable to in the lineup and play more minutes while he was struggling than Giannis Antetokounmpo in that game?
Wow.
James Harden had a play on the left side where he was guarding Giannis on the post. Help was coming. Hey, you need us? You need us? You need us? Fake and fall, fake and fall, fake and fall. He's like, no, I got it.
I'm good.
See, Giannis supposed to rip the ball through and go dunk on the entire city of Brooklyn. When you take a fall away jump shot, that right there plays on the psyche of yourself. When you miss free throws late, it plays on the psyche of yourself and your teammates. And then when you drop Middleton's pass late in the game, it causes you to lose the game. So Kevin Durant, they didn't just win the game. They beat the Bucks, and it was because of an all-time great performance by KD.
It was an all-time great performance from KD. However, there's a lot of questions to be asked of the Bucks' strategy in this one of which is, why is Giannis not guarding Kevin Durant? Here is what Giannis said about guarding Kevin Durant in the post-game presser.
Sure. I want to take the challenge, and obviously everybody's going to have a chance to guard him, but I would love going to game 6 to be able to guard him, and if coach wants me to do that, I'm ready for that.
Jalen, why wasn't Giannis guarding Kevin Durant? Why weren't they hunting James Harden on offense? Why did they make these decisions in the second half in Brooklyn? Explain it to me.
Jalen Jacoby, you and I both know there can't be a person that loves Giannis more than I do. As a matter of fact, I picked them to win this series, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Didn't I pick them to win this series?
Yes, you did.
Okay, so let me tell you why I picked them to win this series. I felt that the Nets, Big Three, only played with each other around 10 times this year. If injuries happen, their chemistry wouldn't be there. I felt like KD and Jeff Green, who was terrific, so was Blake Griffin, we'll get to them, had no chance of guarding Giannis. And yes, he had 34 and 12. But you know what happens when the best player on the other team is having a worldly, out-of-body experience and an amazing performance like KD was doing? You know what should happen during the game? The best player, that's the reigning defensive player of the year, before Gobert won it this year, he should look at the other 14 guys in the coaching staff, say, I got him. There's going to be a lot of people that say, blame Coach Bud. No, you're not blaming the Nets for KD playing 48 minutes. You know why? Because it wasn't about the analytics. We're going to play James Harden 43 minutes. We throwing out the analytics. You know why? We trying to win. And we need our best players to perform at their best. And usually that means the two best players, when they can go mano-a-mano, that it actually happens. I'm sorely disappointed that Giannis Antetokounmpo did not guard Kevin Durant at all in the fourth quarter when he was having an historic performance, when clearly he has the skills and the ability to do so. Really disappointed in that.
You heard him himself. He said, if coach wants that, then I will do that. You're telling me into this microphone that it's not about coaching. It's not about Coach Bud. It's about Giannis himself just saying, I got him.
Hey, James Harden, how many minutes do you want to play tonight? Well, it depends on how many the coach says. It depends on how many the trainers say. No, they weren't taking him out because it was do or die. Hey, KD, when the last time somebody played the entire 48 minutes of a playoff game in recent history? It rarely happens because you wasn't taking KD out. Who's the superstar of the Milwaukee Bucks, David Jacoby?
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
So what is the coaching staff going to say when he says, I got KD? Let me handle that, Middleton. Let me handle that, Tucker. Tucker has already been the discount. I mean, they've already got the bargain for Tucker. They picked him up from Houston. He made some threes in the previous game. He was talked about for days, and I even said that was the best I've ever seen KD defending him. But he only 6'5", Jacoby. Mm-hmm. He only 6'5". Giannis has got to take on that challenge, and I'm really disappointed. And so we can talk about what's going to happen in the next game, but guess what? They're ready for it now. They're ready for it now. We needed it then. Yeah, it's going to be great for it to happen in the next game, but we needed it in the game where Harden was playing 43 points and you were taking turnaround jumpers. That's when we need it. So you're going to be surprised. I'm sticking with my pick, though. I'm sticking with my pick.
And you cannot blame Coach Bud for the Giannis guarding KD thing, but I do blame Coach Bud for not hunting James Harden on offense. He was obviously hobbled. He had no lateral movement, and they didn't put him in enough actions. They just did not. They allowed him to play as much as he did because they could have hunted him. They could have scored him. They could have taken better advantage of that. What a Game 5 in this series. Cannot wait for Game 6. But, Jalen, we have another update on Aaron. Is the play in which he tweaked that right knee, Jalen? What is the impact of missing Kawhi on this series?
Injury and luck always plays a factor with who advances in the playoffs and ultimately who wins the championship. This season seems different because it's the superstar players on the teams. It's Kawhi Leonard for the Clippers. It's an all-NBA guy like Anthony Davis missing for the Lakers. And Kawhi not being with the Clippers, that distinctly means I go from thinking that they're going to win this series to anticipating they're going to lose this series. That's the impact of the Kawhi Leonard injury. Because the Utah Jazz had the #1 record in the entire NBA. They broke a record for three-point shots. And yet, Kawhi Leonard and Paul George finally seem to be hitting their stride. They had back-to-back 30-point games each. Morris knocked down a ton of threes. Kawhi was dunking on people and really playing with ferocity. So without him, it's really unfortunate for the league and for the Clippers, and obviously I feel bad for Kawhi. Hopefully it's not a serious injury, but if he's not able to return in this series, they will not advance.
I agree. And 9 All-Stars have missed time in this postseason, which is just an unconscionable number. But, Jalen, I also agree. Missing Kawhi Leonard, he is the key to this team. Paul George is inconsistent. Kawhi Leonard is the opposite. He's always there for them. He's always getting 30 points. He's always locking down on defense, and they will not have him, and they will not advance if they don't have him for the rest of